Chapter 9. What energy are you bringing? It's amazing. The universe will give us back the energy that we put out. It happens all the time. If we're bringing negative, grouchy, I'm unhappy, uncomfortable energy, guess what the universe is going to show us? Uncomfortable, unhappy, grouchy energy right back. It's like this. I had a coworker say, man, I'm really not looking forward to going to that meeting. I said, why? Well, there's somebody always there that just disagrees with everything we say. I looked at that coworker and I said, I'm counting on that. They looked at me like I had 3 heads. What do you mean? I can't stand the disagreement. Well, we had 2 completely different kinds of energy that we were bringing. He was afraid of conflict. I was looking forward to it. Guess what happens when I brought the I'm looking forward to conflict? Let's have a deeper conversation. Let's talk about more meaningful things. What happens when I brought that energy rather than being oppositional right from the start? The meeting's completely different from my point of view. Or let's think about this. How many of you would like to learn a second language? Except the thought of sounding like a 9-month-old when you're speaking that way is difficult. You just rule it out. I don't want to sound silly or stupid or incapable. Well, guess what? That's how we learned how to speak the language that's native to us, is by making mistakes. We fought our way through it, we struggled, we were corrected, and eventually we were able to cement it in. If we're able to start with a beginner's mentality, that's the energy that we're bringing, everything's different in terms of our willingness to experiment and to try. How many times in your life, as an adult, are you willing to bring a beginner's mind to something, where you're open to experimenting and trying and failing and starting over again? Instead, we tend to just censor ourselves and stop it because we don't want to look silly. And here's a story that some of you may think is really provocative. We've all heard the Good Samaritan story, probably, except we've lost the meaning of this story almost entirely. In the 1st century Judea, there was no such thing as a Good Samaritan to a Jew. They were the opposite, the total opposite of what you thought was good. For whomever you are, insert whatever group you'd like to, KKK or ISIS or whatever it might be, insert that, and that's the way they thought of Samaritans. The interesting thing, though, is that the Samaritan, the other, is the one that stopped and help the injured traveler. Sometimes the energy we bring, it's just full of judgment and preconceptions. Maybe if we bring a different energy to the circumstances we find ourselves in, a different outcome will happen. Let me invite you to think about the energy you bring. Be open, be curious, be willing. Choose the energy that you bring. Be anticipatory, look forward to things. If you bring that energy to circumstances, you're going to get that energy back. Life will change in some significant ways, I promise. Join us for our next installment, Chapter 10, focused on interests, not positions. If you'd like to learn more about the book, visit my speaker website at tiptonspeaks.com. Click on the Books tab at the top and you'll see a link there for What's Right, Not Who's Right. If you'd like to buy the book today, thank you for supporting the Tipton Family College Fund. Head over to Amazon and you can get your own copy now. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.